So this is question number 1.4 of class 11th unit and measurement, and I am making this a very elaborated video on this topic so that you can understand each and everything in all be all of this question. So let's start the question. Explain this statement clearly. To call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard of comparison. In view of this, the reframe the following statement wherever necessary, right? So that what we have to do. So first of all, let's clear what is dimensional quantity. Dimensional quantity is nothing but mass, time, length, like this, etc. Right? And if a dimensional quantity is larger or smaller, it depends on what the standard of comparison we are fixing for this, right? For example, let's see this example that I am like illustrating here, that this is a line, like say that this is a line, and I am not using any numerical thing here. I am telling that this is a line. You have to say that this line is a small or large. You don't have any clue because there is no any standard of reference. Suppose I am making another line, this. So now you have to tell me which line is a smaller and larger. This line is a small or large, that what you have to say. Obviously you will use your mind and say that this is a smaller line, right? So now what I am doing, I am not doing nothing but this line, I am erasing this line, and I am making another line, this. So now you can say that what is the length of this line, what is this line, is a smaller or larger. So now this line, this line that is smaller in the previous example, it become larger, right? So by changing the reference, the standard of comparison or the reference, we can see that the same line is going to be larger or sometimes smaller, right? So this is the thing. So for one meter is larger or smaller. It is larger when you are comparison. It is a smaller, sorry, when you are comparing it with a 1 kilometer, right? But the same 1 meter is going to be a smaller if you are comparing it with 1.01 millimeter, right? So by changing the standard of comparison, the dimensional quantity is going to be larger or smaller according to the frame of reference, or you can say the standard of comparison, right? So now let's see the examples that are here. Atom are very small objects than a subatomic particle. Is it true? Atom are very smaller object than a subatomic particle. Wrong. It is larger than subatomic particle. It is larger, right? So you can this example is incorrect. So in the place of that, what you have to write is the atom are very smaller object than comparison to a car, right? And again, B, a jet plane moves with great speed than the speed of light. Is it true? It is wrong, because you are taking the standard of comparison, the light. So if you are changing this standard of comparison, you are going to get a good statement. That is, a jet plane moves with greater speed than a bullet train, right? You can say, or any example like helicopter, right? Second, the third thing, the mass of a Jupiter is very large than the galaxy. Is it wrong? Obviously it is wrong, right? So if you are going to change the standard of comparison, you are going to get a good or the right statement. That is, the mass of a Jupiter is very larger than a man, right? So you can see that changing the standard of comparison, you can you can make that statement right, right? So the air inside the room contains a large number of molecules than the air, 1 mole air in box, right? So that what you can say. A proton is much more massive than an electron. It is true. The speed of sound is much smaller than the speed of light. It is correct, right? So this is the thing. And the second thing is the statement to call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard of comparison, right? So how you can clarify this? So you can give an example for clarifying this statement, that if you have to first write the statement, then we can understand it with example as weight of a man is much larger than the weight of an atom, right? Weight of an atom, it is atom, this is a man, and this is a elephant, right? So obviously I am making a diagram, but in real life it is this example is going to be very valid, that the larger the weight of the atom, but a small, much lighter than the weight of an elephant. So this man, if we are taking the standard of comparison, this atom, the man is much heavier. And but if you are comparing it with the standard of this elephant, a standard of comparison is elephant, the same man is going to be much smaller, right? So this is the thing, and you can write the example to clarify this statement, right? I hope this is elaborated video I made on this topic, and it is so much clear to you, right? Okay.